And one of the things that always struck me about Andrew was how dedicated he was, but also how consistent he was. From youth all the way through college, I just don't remember a time where he had, 2 bad games in a row. He never had a week where he was just off. He was just good. He was always consistent. He was always performing. He was always scoring goals. He was the hardest guy on the team to defend. He was wherever you didn't want him to be when you were playing against him, that's where he was. Whenever you were playing with him, he was right where you wanted him to be.
Everything he did as a player was great, but really what I admire about him is the passion that he carries in his job as a teacher and as a coach, and he clearly has a love for that, and that's really great, and speaks to his character and who he is as a person.
We spent a lot of time outside of training, working together and training. We would always stay after, we would always show up early, we'd go on the weekends when we didn't have games and work, and he was just one of the driving forces that really pushed the guys around him to be better. He always held you accountable. If you were slacking off in training or you weren't giving everything, he was the first guy to point you out and say, hey, get back to work.
It was a game in 2006 that we had here, actually. We were playing Humboldt State, and it was an overtime game. There was a ball sent into their box as time was winding down.
He went in for a header that I didn't think he had a chance at getting against a goalkeeper, and he ended up getting punched in the face.
He just went up for it and got pummeled by their keeper, but flicked it over him and
either broke his nose or got a bloody nose and scored the goal.
And I know that's a moment that he really thinks about a lot in his career. And it was indicative of who he was as a player. Just a hard-nosed, go-getter, just a winner, really, a competitive guy that always wanted to win.
And that to me kind of exemplifies what Bailey was and how he trained, played, and approached the game. Was he was going to get the result. He was going to go after it. It didn't matter if it cost him, his body or a broken nose or whatever it was. He was just going to go. He was going to score.
There were some other moments after that in the celebration that I know Ben Ziemer probably really remembers pretty well, giving some love to the Humboldt fans there after the game. There's one story that comes to mind for all of us, but that one's not appropriate. It has to do with his favorite food, peanut butter.
He had this way about him that whatever situation you were in, and I was a goalkeeper, so you would think he had no chance to score. You would cut off the angle perfectly, come out, narrow the angle down, and then next thing you knew, the ball's in the back of the net, and you were going, you son of a wonderful woman. Hi, Regina, how are you? He is a really good friend. He's always there for you. If you need anything, he would be there for you. He was always going to back you up on and off the field. He's someone that's been a very big influence on me as a player and as a person. He's been someone that's been very close to me for a long part of my life. And he's someone that I really respect and regard as a top-level competitor. And above that, he's just a great guy and a good friend.